that isn't meant for you. All right, Gemini, let's get into your reading. So the message that I have for you today is this, and it came in heavy. There is a weight pressing down on this person right now, and it refuses to lift at all. They are carrying something painful inside their chest, and every single day it grows louder. What they feel is deep regret, and it is the kind that stays from morning until night. This person made choices that pulled them away from you, and now those choices haunt them. They cannot sit still with what they know, and pretending everything is fine is breaking them apart. The truth they are holding back is screaming inside them, and the silence is completely unbearable now. Come in close today, because the cards are going to confirm exactly what your spirit already knows. Something raw lives inside this reading, and you will feel it through every card that follows. The first card we have for you is the Five of Cups, and this speaks volumes immediately. This card carries grief, and it only appears when someone is mourning what they genuinely lost. They keep looking backward at what fell apart, and your connection is the center of all that pain. The Five of Cups confirms that this person replays certain memories, and none of them bring peace. What fell between you left a deep mark, and that mark has not faded even slightly. Two cups remain standing behind them, but their eyes stay fixed on what already shattered completely. Their mourning is quiet on the outside and violent on the inside, where nobody else can reach. The guilt of walking away from you sits in their bones, and it colors everything now. This card tells me the sorrow sitting in their chest is heavy, and it ties directly to you. They did not expect to feel this deeply about it, and that surprise has made everything harder. Now, the next card coming through is the Moon reversed, and this shifts the reading even deeper. The Moon reversed reveals that the mask they wear is cracking, and it cannot hold much longer now. They built walls around what they feel, and those walls are thinning with every single passing week. Hiding from you has become exhausting for them, and they are running out of reasons to keep going. This card confirms that the deception was never meant to hurt you. It was self-protection from the start. They told themselves they could handle the distance, and now that entire lie is collapsing on itself. Their own reflection has become uncomfortable, and they avoid looking too closely at what they have done. The Moon reversed shows someone terrified of being seen, yet desperate to be truly known by you again. Every reminder of your presence weakens their ability, and the walls get thinner each day that passes. What this card reveals is that the facade has an expiration date, and that date is approaching fast. They cannot keep up this performance forever, and somewhere deep inside them, they already know that truth. Then we have the Knight of Swords reversed, and this tells me where their courage currently sits. This Knight reversed says they have rehearsed what to tell you over and over inside their mind. The words exist inside them already, but fear keeps pulling those words back before they ever surface. They are afraid of how you might respond, and that single fear controls every quiet decision they make. The Knight of Swords reversed confirms their silence is not indifference. It is something closer to terror. What holds them back is not a lack of feeling. It is the unbearable risk of rejection. This card paints someone frozen in place, caught between speaking up and protecting what little pride remains. Their throat tightens every time the moment arrives, and they swallow the confession back down again. Our last card here is the Nine of Swords, and this reveals the personal cost of their hiding. The Nine of Swords shows restless nights, and this person has been losing sleep over you very consistently. Guilt runs through their thoughts on repeat, and no amount of distraction manages to quiet it anymore. This card does not appear for people who forgot you. It appears for those who cannot stop remembering. Their mind races with everything left unsaid, and the mental toll is becoming visible in their energy. They catch themselves reaching out in small ways and then pulling back before you ever notice it. The Nine of Swords confirms that this regret is not occasional. It is a constant companion they carry. What the cards reveal together is undeniable, and it matches the message that came through at the start. Every card pulled here points toward one single truth, and that truth is impossible for them to escape. This person deeply. Okay, now let us look at your side of this, because there's a lot sitting in your energy too. You have been carrying this quietly, and the weight of not knowing the full truth has worn you down. Part of you already sensed that something was off with this person, and your intuition was never wrong. You felt the shift before they ever said a word, and that knowing has stayed locked in your chest. The confusion is what exhausts you most, because the signals never matched what they were showing you. One moment things felt close and real, and the next moment everything went cold without any explanation. That back and forth left marks on your peace, and you have been trying to heal without full closure. You deserve clarity on what happened between you, and the cards are going to speak to exactly that now. The first card on your side is the Queen of Cups, and this reflects your emotional depth beautifully. You feel everything at a level most people cannot even begin to understand, and that is your nature. The Queen of Cups confirms that you loved with your whole chest, and you held nothing back from them. Your heart was fully open in this connection, and that openness is what made the silence so painful. You gave them access to parts of yourself that you protect fiercely, and they know exactly what that meant. This card shows someone who leads with empathy, and that empathy kept you holding on longer than expected. The Queen of Cups does not show up for people who love halfway. She shows up for those who pour completely. Your emotional intelligence told you something was wrong, and you sat with that feeling instead of running. That patience cost you something real, and the cards honor the strength it took to stay present through it. Now, the next card we have on your side is the Star. And this one carries a very specific message. The Star says that despite everything you went through, your hope never fully died inside of you. You may have buried it down deep where nobody could reach it, but that flame kept burning quietly. This card confirms that your faith in this connection survived the worst of the confusion and distance. The Star shows someone who still believes in something meaningful, even when the evidence felt discouraging. You held on to a thread of knowing that this was not finished, and that thread never actually snapped. What makes this card powerful here is that your hope was not naive. It was rooted in something real. You felt the truth of this connection in your body, and no amount of silence could erase that knowing. The Star also tells me that you have been healing yourself quietly, without asking anyone for permission. You did not wait for answers to begin rebuilding, and that independence is something the cards deeply respect. Then we have the Ten of Wands, and this card shows exactly what this situation has cost your daily life. You have been carrying too much weight on your shoulders, and not all of it belongs to you right now. The Ten of Wands confirms that the emotional labor of this connection became a burden you absorbed alone. You took on their silence as your own problem, and you tried to make sense of something that was unfair. This card shows exhaustion that runs deeper than sleep can fix, and it lives in your nervous system still. The weight of unanswered questions pressed into your mornings, and you carried that into everything you did. The Ten of Wands tells me you reached a point where you almost set it all down and nearly walked away. You came close to releasing this entirely, and that moment of almost letting go changed something inside you. Our last card for your side is the Two of Swords, and this captures exactly where you stand right now. The Two of Swords shows someone sitting between two truths, and both of them feel equally heavy today. One truth says to protect yourself and stop waiting, and the other truth says something is still alive. You are holding both of those realities at once, and the tension between them keeps your heart suspended. This card confirms that the decision ahead of you is real, and it is not one you take lightly at all. The Two of Swords tells me you are guarding your peace carefully, and you refuse to be foolish again. You want proof before you open that door again, and that boundary comes from hard lessons you already learned. Your guard is up for a reason, and every card on your side confirms that your caution is completely earned. What I see across your entire spread is someone who loved deeply, carried too much, and still held hope. Now, let us step into their world completely, because what is happening inside them is intense right now. This person is not doing well behind closed doors, and nobody around them sees the full picture. They have built an entire performance around looking fine, and that performance is draining them dry. Their inner world is loud with your name, and they cannot quiet it no matter how hard they try. Every distraction they reach for falls short, and at the end of the day, your memory is still waiting. They thought distance would give them peace, and instead, it handed them a loneliness they were not prepared for. The motives behind their silence are tangled, and the cards are going to untangle them piece by piece. The first card on their side is the Emperor reversed, and this reveals a very specific kind of collapse. The Emperor reversed shows someone who lost their grip on control, and that loss shook their identity. They used to feel certain about the direction they were going, and now that certainty has crumbled entirely. This card confirms that their confidence is fractured, and underneath all of it sits deep shame about you. They made a decision from a place of ego, and that ego has since been humbled by what they actually feel. The Emperor reversed tells me they tried to lead with logic, and their heart overruled every single attempt. Their pride kept them from admitting the mistake early, and now the gap feels almost too wide to cross. What this card exposes is someone who thought they were strong enough to walk away, and they were not. That realization hit them hard, and it has been sitting in the pit of their stomach for a long time. They feel foolish for choosing distance over honesty, and that foolishness haunts them in quiet moments. The next card coming through on their side is the Seven of Cups, and this reveals their mental state. The Seven of Cups shows a mind overwhelmed with possibilities, and none of them lead anywhere without you. They have imagined 100 different versions of reaching out, and every version ends with them freezing. This card confirms that fantasy has replaced action inside them, and they are stuck in an emotional loop. They picture what it would feel like to tell you everything, and that picture both excites and terrifies them. The Seven of Cups tells me they are lost in their own head, and clarity feels completely out of reach. Their thoughts spin between what they want and what they believe they deserve, and that gap is paralyzing. They do not feel worthy of your forgiveness right now, and that belief keeps the confession locked away. What this card shows is someone drowning in options but choosing none because fear outweighs every impulse. Their imagination runs through reconciliation daily, and yet their hands stay frozen at their sides completely. Then we have the Hermit, and this card tells me exactly how they have been coping with all of it. The Hermit shows isolation, and this person has been pulling away from everyone around them, not just you. They have gone inward in a way that worries the people closest to them, and they refuse to explain why. This card confirms that the withdrawal is not about moving on. It is about sitting with what they broke. The Hermit tells me they spend long stretches alone, replaying conversations and analyzing every wrong turn. They're searching inside themselves for the version that knows how to fix this, and they cannot find it. Their solitude is not peaceful or healing right now. It is heavy and filled with circular regret entirely. What the hermit reveals is that this person isolated themselves because facing others feels dishonest to them. They cannot laugh freely or engage fully because underneath everything is the awareness of what they lost. Our last card on their side is the Four of Cups, and this confirms the emotional shutdown happening inside. The Four of Cups shows someone sitting with arms crossed and refusing to receive anything that is not you. Opportunities have come their way since the distance began, and they have turned every single one down flat. This card tells me nothing satisfies them anymore, and they are fully aware of why that emptiness exists. The Four of Cups confirms that they compared everyone and everything to what you gave them, and nothing matched. They sit in that dissatisfaction daily, and it has become a quiet punishment they believe they deserve entirely. What this card makes clear is that their emotional world has gone still, and only your presence could restart it. They are not open to anyone else right now, and that closed door is both their prison and their. So now we shift into what this person is about to do, and the cards show decisive movement forming fast. The sitting still phase is ending for them, and something concrete is about to replace all that internal noise. Their jealousy has pushed them past the point of inaction, and what comes next involves you directly, and soon. They have reached a threshold where doing nothing feels more dangerous than risking everything with the truth. The fear of losing you permanently has officially overtaken the fear of being vulnerable in front of you. That tipping point changes everything, and the cards are confirming exactly what that shift looks like in motion. The first card in the action spread is the Ace of Wands, and this brings a surge of initiative to the table. The Ace of Wands represents a spark of new determination, and this spark has already been lit inside them. They woke up recently with a clarity they did not have before, and that clarity is pushing them to act. This card confirms that the decision to reach out is no longer something they debate, it is something they plan. The Ace of Wands carries bold energy, and the move they are preparing will not be subtle or easily missed. They are tired of operating from the shadows, and this card tells me they want to be seen by you again. The approach will feel direct and intentional, and it will carry a weight that casual conversation does not hold. This card shows someone gathering momentum quickly, and once the first step is taken, the rest will follow rapidly. The Ace of Wands tells me their jealousy became the fuel, and that fuel is now powering forward motion only. They are channeling everything they felt into a concrete plan, and that plan centers on making contact with you. This is not a vague desire to reconnect someday, and the timeline the cards show is much closer than expected. The next card here is Justice, and this adds a very specific dimension to the action that is coming your way. Justice tells me this person wants to make things right, and they are approaching the situation with accountability. They are not coming back with excuses or deflection, and this card confirms they intend to own what happened. Justice shows someone who has weighed the situation honestly and accepted their role in creating the distance fully. The move they make will include an admission of fault, and that admission will feel genuine when it reaches you. This card tells me they have spent time preparing what they need to say, and fairness guides their approach now. Justice confirms that the action is not impulsive or desperate. It is measured and rooted in real accountability. They want to present themselves as someone who grew from the mistake, not someone who simply missed the comfort. The approach will feel mature in a way that might surprise you, and that maturity was earned through their pain. Justice also tells me they are prepared to hear your side fully, and they expect honesty in return from you. They are not coming to convince you or pressure you, and the cards confirm they are coming to lay truth down. Our last card in the action spread is the Six of Wands, and this reveals the outcome energy around their move. The Six of Wands carries victory and recognition, and its presence here tells me their effort will land successfully. This card confirms that when they finally step forward, the reception will be better than their fears predicted. The Six of Wands shows someone who earns respect through courage, and their courage in this will be visible. This is not a card of easy wins, and the success it promises comes specifically because the effort was genuine. Their action will shift the dynamic between you noticeably, and the stagnation that existed will break immediately. The Six of Wands tells me you will see them differently after this move, and old assumptions will be challenged. What they bring to the table will carry substance, and it will be difficult to dismiss once it is in front of you. This card confirms that momentum favors them once they begin, and hesitation is the only thing that could stop it. All three cards together paint a clear picture of deliberate action, and that action is locked in their trajectory. The jealousy that consumed them is transforming into purpose, and that purpose has one destination in mind only. Movement toward you is no longer a question of whether it happens, and the cards confirm it is a matter of when.
Okay, now we go into what this person will never say out loud. And this is where it gets deeply revealing.
These are the confessions they carry in the most private corners of their mind, and they guard them fiercely. Nobody in their life knows the full scope of what they feel for you, and they intend to keep it that way. What lives inside them regarding you is bigger than they have ever admitted, and it terrifies them completely. They are not just missing you on the surface, and what the cards expose here goes far beyond casual regret. This is the part of the reading where their walls come down fully, and truth spills without any filter at all. The first card in their hidden confessions is the Devil reversed. And this unlocks something they buried deep. The Devil reversed tells me they tried to detach from you emotionally, and that attempt failed at every level. They convinced themselves the attachment was unhealthy and used that story to justify pulling away from you. This card confirms that the real reason they left was not strength, it was fear of how deeply they needed you. The Devil reversed exposes a confession they will not speak, and that confession is that you own their heart. They have tried replacing what you gave them with distractions, and every single one left them feeling emptier. Late at night, when the noise stops, your face is the only thing that brings them any sense of comfort still. This card shows someone who fought against their own love for you and lost that fight decisively long ago. They are embarrassed by how much power you hold over their emotional state, and they mask it with distance. The truth beneath the surface is raw, and it sounds like this when the cards strip everything else away. They want you back in a way that scares them, and admitting that want feels like surrendering their last wall. The next card here is the Ace of Cups, and this one reveals the purest confession sitting inside their chest. The Ace of Cups holds new emotional beginnings, and this person secretly dreams of starting over fresh with you. They imagine a version of this connection where everything is honest, and that version plays on repeat inside them. This card confirms that their love for you never ended. It simply went underground where nobody could judge it. The Ace of Cups tells me they feel a fullness when they think about you that nothing else in life provides. Their confession here is that you are irreplaceable to them, and they have tested that theory enough to know. Every person they encountered since you only highlighted what was missing, and what was missing was always you. This card carries the weight of someone who wants to pour everything out and start clean without any secrets. They dream about the moment they finally tell you everything, and in that dream, your response is always warm. The fear of reality not matching that dream is the only thing keeping their mouth shut right now about it. Then we have the Six of Cups, and this final card reaches into the most tender place inside their memory. The Six of Cups shows someone revisiting the past constantly, and the past they revisit always includes you. They hold on to specific moments you shared together, and those moments have become sacred ground inside them. This card tells me there is one memory in particular that they replay more than any other, and it wrecks them. It might be a quiet moment where nothing extraordinary happened, but the closeness felt like everything to them. The Six of Cups confirms that nostalgia is not just visiting them occasionally, it has moved in permanently now. Their hidden desire tied to this card is simple, and it is to feel that exact safety with you one more time. They do not want a different version of love, and they do not want a better connection with someone new. What they want is you, exactly as you were in those moments, and they would trade anything to have it back. The Six of Cups reveals that their heart cataloged everything beautiful between you and refuses to let go. They carry those memories like proof that real connection existed, and that proof keeps their hope barely alive. Every confession across these cards circles back to one undeniable truth, and that truth has your name on it. This person is hiding a love so deep it has restructured their entire inner world, and silence is all that remains. What they feel for you is not a phase or a passing thought, and the cards confirm it has roots that run permanent. Their deepest confession stripped bare is simply this, and they would give anything for you to already know it. Now, let us see what the near future holds for this connection, because the cards are closing with clarity. The timeline ahead is not distant or uncertain, and what is forming between you carries real weight already. Within the coming weeks, this person is going to reach a point where silence is no longer an option for them. The pressure that has been building inside their chest will demand release, and that release involves your name. You will feel a shift in their behavior before the words ever arrive, and that shift will be unmistakable. The first card for your near future is the Sun, and this brings the warmest confirmation in